Hi friends, Dr. Ben, Not a Real Doctor here. Today let's talk about getting some more movement into your day. I know one of the big things that holds a lot of people up is you feel like you need to do an hour workout. And absolutely there is 100% lots of benefits to doing a structured program every day for an hour. But if the thing that's really keeping you from getting more movement into your life is this feeling that you have to do an hour, try this instead. Try picking one or two exercises that you can do, maybe a few sets every day. We're gonna try something a little different here. We're gonna talk and get a little workout in just to show that you can work things in. The two exercises I'm gonna be doing are gonna be a squat using a pretty light weight here. We're just getting some extra motion in, and some lateral raises for my shoulders. I'm trying to loosen up my neck and my shoulders from frankly, decades of improper usage. So I'm gonna be kind of going over things with you while I get a little workout in. So when you're doing these sort of, we'll call them mini workouts here, pick one, maybe two exercises, or I'd rather say movements. Pick one or two movements that you would like to work in. The goal of these little movement sessions is not to absolutely blast your body and leave you unable to walk or pick things up. It's to get some extra movement, work on some areas where you're not getting enough movement, and slowly over time, build the habit of getting more movement into your day. The reason that we're only doing one or two movements, and you can go for one, anywhere up to 5 sets, depending on how much time you got. Generally, you're gonna be looking for something like 6 to 10 reps. You're going to be focusing on slow, controlled movements, building good movement patterns, and you're just trying to get some extra movement into your day. Now you can revisit these movement sessions 2, 3, 4 times a day, depending on how much time they take. You can get quite a bit more workout into your day. The trick here is that these little sessions take maybe 5 or 10 minutes. They're easy to squeeze in, especially if you make the stuff you're going to use, like the weights and the kettlebells I'm using here, easily accessible. You may find that as you start doing more movement, you feel better. As your range of motion improves, things stop hurting. You're stronger, you have more ability to move, that you actually want to do more movement. And that's the other goal of this little mini movement session, is that you're building the habit of moving more. Maybe you never really get to the point where you want to do an hour session every day. It's totally fine. Now, if you tell me you want to be a world-class bodybuilder and you think you're going to do it in 5-minute sessions here and there, you're not, just like you're not going to be an elite athlete. But if your goal is to move better, get more movement into your life, be healthier, then this is a great way to start building the habit. You can vary your weight. Nothing says you have to use weight. You can vary your range of motion. Nothing says you have to do a full butt to the ground squat every single time. There are lots of ways to work on this. You can do the same movements for a week or a month. You can vary your movements day by day. But the point here is that you're trying to break that barrier of feeling like you have to do an hour of movement for it to be effective. One of the things I really like about the work of Katie Bowman is, I would say, in my opinion, she's the original purveyor of movement snacks, which are just short, tiny little movement sessions where you get things moving without doing a full, structured workout kind of deal. I think it's a great way, if you're feeling like you just don't have time for anything else, to get more movement in. You could just force yourself to do a workout, and that does work for some people. But the downside to that is If you really don't want to do it and you force yourself to do it, now you've just forced yourself to do another thing, add another thing to the long lists that you have to do that you don't really want to do. And I think it's much healthier to try and find a way to enjoy movement and getting more movement in your life, rather than making it another one of those things that you just have to do because it's good for you. It's always more fun doing these things, talking the whole time, but that's okay. A little cardio session. And nothing says you have to do 3 sets like I'm going to do here. You can do less than that. You can do more than that. It's going to vary by how much time you have, how much willingness you have to do. My only recommendation is that if you say you're going to do 3 sets, do 3 sets. If you say you're going to do 2 sets, do 2 sets. I think it's important to do what you say you're going to do. Wish I could say I'm 100% with that, but I do my very best. So when you're just starting this out, start with the weights light, start with the reps low, start with the sets low. Build that habit, make it a pleasant experience. Try to make your first session relatively easy, 5 minutes long. That way, the next time it comes up, you're like, yeah, that wasn't so bad. I don't think I'll have any problems doing that. Remember, trying to build a habit, a long-term habit, not survive miserable experience after miserable experience. And what's miserable to you, it's going to vary person by person. I do a lot of things for fun that my girlfriend wouldn't do for money. It's all relative. So, don't try and compare yourself to what other people are doing or where other people are with this little experiment. Just worry about where you are, where you want to be. Do a little bit every day. Three sets a day of bodyweight squats will not make you an Olympic sprinter. But if you haven't been doing any squats at all, it's going to be a whole lot better than what you were doing, right? A little bit at a time. A little bit of a time will get you there. And before you know it, you'll be moving more than you ever thought possible. For this session, because I'm talking, not really keeping a very good count. Doing 3 sets of each movement, slow and controlled, and about 6 to 10 reps, somewhere in there. I feel like I'm pretty close to that. Not good enough to count and talk at the same time. Well, I'd love to hear your all's opinion on this. This is kind of like, I can't remember where I first heard it, but the 5-minute rule. There's something you don't really want to do, but you need to do it. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Do it. You only have to do it till that timer goes off. And what most people find is that once that timer goes off, they're kind of in the flow. They don't mind doing more than just 5 minutes. Same kind of theory. Don't feel like you have to keep doing more movement when you're done with whatever you said you were going to do. Just come back to it again later. These light sessions like this, you can do 2 or 3 of them a day. It's a good way to get some extra movement in. Build the habit of moving more. Build the mindset that movement isn't a miserable thing, that getting a little exercise is not a miserable thing. There are ways to do it that make it enjoyable, or at least, not really an imposition. Anyway, if you guys like this, share in the comments down below. I always love hearing what you guys have to say. If you like the video, smash that thumbs up. Hey, if you know somebody who might be able to benefit from this, share it with them. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing. Till next time, keep your life in motion.